inverted, narcissistic, and most importantly, completely pointless. Come waste an hour of your week with The Starting Block, Friday nights Australian time at dlive.tv/The Starting Block. Get in touch with us on Twitter at The Starting Block, no K at the end. Also, subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts or iTunes by searching for The Starting Block, all one word, or on Podbean at startingblock.podbean.com. Join the blockheads, tuning in their millions, right around the world.
You're listening to The Starting Block on TAVshow.com.
The following program is recommended for mature individuals and may contain material unsuitable for morons, cretins, and dishwipes. If you are a moron or a member of the PTL Club, please turn off your radio, because we don't need any more stupid, narrow-minded, pencil-neck geeks who wouldn't know the First Amendment if it came up and bit them on the butt. Thank you.
Okie dokie, roll 'em!
Nothing to rearrange. Sometimes you just get a feeling like you need some kind of change.
Hey, welcome to The Starting Block for another week. Big show as always. We've got story times, we got protests, we got anthems, we got some more Milo, we got Jim M words, story of the week, all that and much more here on the block.
Standing tall on the wings of my dream, rise and fall on the wings of my dream. Rain, thunder, wind and haze are bound for better days. My life, my dream, nothing's gonna stop me now.
It's Greeno here from The Starting Block. On behalf of the block, we just wanted to let you all know that we're all in this together. Well, except if you have coronavirus, then stay the fuck away. But in every other situation, we're in it together. To all of you on the front lines, those of you turning a footstool, a wok and a pitchfork into a home gym, those of you who have given your housemates a mental breakdown because you decided lockdown was a great time to learn the keyboard and the only thing you can play after 8 weeks is chopsticks over and over and over again. And those of you who are homeschooling and are now understanding the question you used to harass your maths teacher with of, when the fuck are we ever going to need to know this in the real world, is coming back to bite you on the ass. Just remember, like a 1990s Australian sitcom, we're all in this together. The days may be long, but in times like this, you can rest assured we will be here to waste an hour of your week, Friday nights Australian time, at dlive.tv/The Starting Block. So take care, social distance, whack on a mask, and subscribe to our show on iTunes. It may not cure coronavirus, but it sure will help us with our rankings. And isn't that really the most important thing right now?
Public Radio's loss is TAVshow.com's gain. You're listening to The Starting Block.
Hey, welcome to the starting block for another week. I've got myself Greeno, and I'm joined by a man who, very exciting, was announced this week as the 9th wiggle. My co-captain Damo. How are we, sir?
Very good, Greeno. Good evening to you, blockheads, millions around the world. How you all going? I just want to report to you now, Greeno. Not only am I the 9th wiggle, but I'm also one of the good people in the world.
Nice, Gary.
I'm one of the people. You know what? Because we're all in this together, Greeno. So I'm now on the winning team. Got the little jabby jab today, Greg.
Yeah, we talked about this quickly pre-show. You've now become the person that we hang shit on about 6 weeks ago, because we said, why is it necessary for everyone to talk about getting a particular medication or a vaccination when in any other scenario we didn't? Now I'm going to let you tell your story. That's fine, but before we get to your story, I need to advise you this week. I've taken some echinacea.
Oh, okay.
Nice, Gary.
Just so we can all put it out on Front Street.
Wasn't that going to be a segment? Weren't we going to talk about every week the medication you were taking?
I just haven't taken a medication in 8 weeks. But this week, thankfully, seems to be appropriate. This week, a little bit of echinacea, a little bit of sniffle. Am I getting something? No, all good. Bit of echinacea. Fixed it right up. So now we're all clear about the particular kind of poisons and medications I put into my particular body this week. You're allowed to tell your story.
I like stories about pinatas.
It's a good team effort here on the block, Greeno. So I won't tell the whole story, because I told that on my show today. If you want to hear that, Daily Boogie podcast.
Interesting plug, yeah.
Nice.
Does it end up being? Did you end up doing the podcast, or you just put it on YouTube?
No, I ended up doing it as a podcast as well.
Okay,
fuck it. So that, if you want to listen to the whole story, go back and listen to that. But so basically, the funniest part of it was I end up going through like all the process, and when I'm in the room where they're giving people the jab, I'm having this situation, Greeno, where people are coming in and then leaving, and I'm still there. And so I'm starting to now think, okay, what's going on here? Because clearly something's not right. Now, my dude, who was very nice, he was a nice guy, but still, he's doing this move, Greeno, where he's kind of squinting at the computer and like click, 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 click. And then he looks down at the syringe, or the syringes that he had next to him, looks at them for a few seconds, then back to the computer, Greeno. Click, click, click.
Yeah, you don't want apprehension in a needle kind of situation.
Exactly. It's like in The Simpsons when Homer's just about to go under, and the last thing he hears from Dr. Nick is, "What the hell is that?"
What the hell is that? Exactly. That's your situation there.
Right. So after a couple of minutes of this, guess what? The supervisor now wanders over, Greeno.
Better come check, because he's like, hang on, this guy's been here 25 minutes. He's meant to be in and out in 5.
Yeah.
What's going on here? Let's suss it out.
Yeah, so now it's becoming an incident, right? And I haven't done anything. I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself this whole time, right? Is this God giving me extra time to like jump out a window and save myself here? Like, am I, because they say, Greeno, they can only open the door, but you're the one that has to walk through it.
Spot on. You were given the Jeopardy thinking music.
I was.
and you chose to wait for fast money.
Yeah. So, I mean, in the end, I'm just sitting there laughing at this situation by now. And I turn to the guy's very apologetic, and he's like, "Oh, sorry about that." And I look at him, and I swear to God, I say to him, "Is this your first time doing this or what?"
Yeah.
And he looks back at me, Greeno, and goes, "No, it's my second day."
Nice, Gary.
Fucking hell, man.
Rather got through day one.
That's what I thought too. Like, how bad must he have been yesterday if he's still having problems today? Imagine being the first one. So,
yeah, imagine yesterday's recipients.
Yeah. And like I said, he was a nice dude and everything, but Jesus Christ, man, that could only happen to me. Like, and, I waited to the last day to do this, and then I get the guy who's basically started the day before. He's the intern. He's the intern.
Work experience kid. Come on in. Welcome. You say it could only happen to you. I reckon it probably happened to every other of his patients that day as well. To be honest.
Nice, Gary.
We're being honest.
No, because they needed some kind of different thing, because apparently my arm was too big for the normal one. So they're like, "Oh, no, you have to do this, this, and this, and this." That's what confused the poor fella. So I don't know.
So it was a size issue.
Yep. Size does matter, kids. Never forget.
I hope you're using that for bragging rights. Going, look, the regular needle, not big enough for old Damo.
Yeah.
We need a big boy needle.
That's it. I had to get the Greg Norman.
Yeah.
I had to pull that out of the fridge. And just before we check out some protesters, Greeno, that you sent through, I just quickly want to touch on this. This is fresh as of about an hour ago or a couple of hours ago.
Bit of hot goss off the press.
A little hot goss off the press, Greener. From 7 News Sydney, it's a title that no one wants, but New South Wales is now the COVID capital of Australia, surging past Victoria with the most cases since the pandemic began. And I just thought to myself, bullshit, suck a dick, Victoria. We win again, mate.
We're
in front again. Fuck you.
Canberra, ACT, got it the Australian capital, fake name. Victoria, Melbourne had the fake COVID leaders in Australia. No.
Yeah,
we know who the true leaders are in this particular country.
That's right. Fucking New South Wales kicking ass again, coming through.
And
top of the leaderboard, baby.
And who's pulling the weight as always? Western Sydney.
Western Sydney, as always, Greeno. We're carrying these COVID numbers with the sweat off our backs, Greeno.
Oh, fucking oath. The Ring of Steel is doing its job.
There you go. We win again.
We do.
You, Victoria.
Let's get to the protesters, because then I'm going to give a bit of story. I know we said last week we don't touch on any COVID stuff, so we're going to fucking just knock it off really, really quickly.
Okay. Do you want to watch a little, because there's like a 2-minute video with this. Do you want to watch a bit of the video? No. Okay.
No, let's not watch a video.
Okay.
Does it play the Benny Hill music though?
Well, look at this. Through the magic of the internet, Greeno, how about we do one of these? It's Friday. Who cares? The magic of the internet. There you go.
Right, because the only reason we got this story and I sent it through is because this protest happened last week.
Yeah.
The so-called freedom protests, and ultimately there was one dude who I was like, look, this guy deserves a nice Gary.
Yeah.
Because one guy at the protest just spent the entire day walking around with a megaphone, following the Channel 7 news crew who were there all day.
Really?
Just
getting up their ass.
Just blaring the Benny Hill music. So every time they cut to Channel 7 Live, all you heard was this in the background.
Is that true? Is that a true story?
Yeah, 100%.
Why can't I get a video of that guy then? If I had known that was real, I would have found a video of that guy.
Yeah,
now I need to see this.
I guess Channel 7 just refused to show the coverage.
Right. Someone would have filmed it though. Surely you would have think, don't you?
Oh, so good. But I just want to say a nice Gary.
Oh, here we go. Okay. I think I found it, Greeno. Let me throw it up on the screen. You cunts. What are you doing, you cunts? Okay, so
And this is on the
Yes.
and he's playing the music. That's him there through the megaphone. And as he's playing the music, I think he's mouthing off at him as well.
Yeah, he's dancing. He's dancing along. He's mouthing off at a wall of coughs. What a hero.
Who the fuck is this guy? I love him.
I don't know who he is, but he's a hero.
See, this is the shit I'm talking about, Greeno. Because I reckon, in my opinion, right, in my humble opinion, when you see the footage of this kind of protest and it's, people squaring off with police and getting tackled and running and, all that kind of shit, batons getting sprayed around. When normal people watch shit like that on the news, they go, oh, fuck these protesters. Who gives a fuck? Take them down. But if you show them the other thing, right, this guy walking around playing the Ben Hill music, that's the kind of shit that goes, oh, fuck yeah, good on him, It completely changes someone's perception. That's fucking great.
Nice, Gary.
Well done. That's a protesting nice Gary.
Absolutely.
Damo, one last thing now. Obviously, you had to go get the vax today, work requirements. You talked on last week's show.
Yep.
Now, for me, I've heard that basically your freedoms, unless you're vaxxed, your freedoms are not going to be there. You got to get the vax to get your freedoms back, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah, unfortunately, look, citizens, we've had to remove some of your freedoms for you,
Like
but
all
it's for your protection, though. It's for your safety. Like, give us your freedom, and we in return will lock you in your home and tell you how safe you are.
Now, I've had a few weeks to reflect on this because I've heard, like, got to get the vax, otherwise, 80%, and then you got to get out, and then you still can't do it unless you've got the vax passport, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Now, personally, I'm a very antisocial guy.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, being locked in my home is a fucking pretty good situation.
Right.
So I've actually decided no vax for Greeno, not because I'm anti-vax at all, not because I just want a reason to not have to go to a bunch of bullshit events. So the wife, she wants me to invite me to her like second cousin's catch up. Sorry, hon, can't come. Not vax. No vax. Got some tickets to some musical in the city. Sorry, hon, I'd love to go.
Yeah, it's like
I'm not allowed.
It's
not vax.
It's like the single mother's recovering alcoholics theater company reproduction of a streetcar named Desire or something.
Sorry, hon, would love to be there. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed out of the house. Yeah, vax.
It's Romeo and Juliet reimagined from a lesbian perspective.
Yeah.
In an abandoned warehouse.
Yeah.
No.
My employer wants me to go into the office 2.5 hours track each way, waste a whole day kind of getting in and out for no reason other than, inverted commas, team bonding. Sorry, guys, can't come in, not allowed, not vax. So I'm going to
look, guys, it's out of my hands. All right.
Out of my hands. I don't make the rules. Gladys is making the rules here. No vax. I can't go out. Can't control it.
Yeah, I don't have it, and she told me I can't go anywhere. So take it up with her. Yeah, it's funny. You're kind of joking, but I did a story on my show yesterday from Canada. Again, Jim Enward, fucking superstar, sending these articles through. Sends through this video in British Columbia of like they put out a new set of rules. They're doing us and Canada. I've said it for years. Canada is basically just like cold Australia, and we're like hot Canada. We're very similar. And so they're now doing this thing where all of these places you're now banned from unless you're vaccinated. But the best one, Greeno, they put on the list. Get this, fucking weddings, Greeno. So you are now no longer in control in Canada of your own wedding guest list, because even if you don't, maybe if you're getting married, you don't care like if your sister hasn't had the vaccine or your brother or whatever. And you're like, no, I want my sister at my wedding. I want my brother at my wedding. And the government at that point steps in and says, sorry, you can't have them because they're not vaccinated. We're keeping you safe from your own. They're now running the guest list.
I need a quick clarification though. Yeah. Does that include like you got the wedding ceremony?
Yeah.
And then you got the party. Now, is that just the ceremony or the party as well?
Well, it would be the party as well, because I think conference rooms or whatever was also on the list. So they'd classify that as a conference.
What if I have the reception in a park? Because I'm trying to work out, like, as long as I can still get on the piss, I don't want to go to the wedding part of it anyway.
Right. You just want to go to the reception.
I'm there for the free cans.
Right.
So as long as I'm banned from the first half, but I'm allowed at the second half, well, that's once again even more reason.
Well, and I can improve the scenario for you further still. At the park, what if we do this? What if we separate you from the vaccinated people by like a little rope, Greeno, across the
kind
park?
Of like, yeah, I get you. Like people are paid for their VIP section.
That's right.
And non-VIP.
That's right. So
because I'm thinking the line could be because 80% got to be done. I reckon my bar line is going to be shorter.
Yes,
because I'll be in the 20% line, right?
Yeah. You'll be eating and drinking and dorming with the heathens, basically, like the unclean. But there's only 20% of you. So
we get quicker food service, quicker drink service.
That's right. Your reality.
We have our own bathroom, so there'd be no queues for the pisser.
That's right. It's going to be a comparison, I think, between like. Me living above ground in Demolition Man, and you'll be down below with Dennis Leary. I think that's the way it's going to work out.
Yeah, so you're selling me on this. You're selling me. I'm liking it.
Yeah. You get to live like the proper, super, libertarian anarchist lifestyle in the sewers, eating rat burgers and shit. And I'm up top with all the snooty cunts. I mean, it's going to be terrible. And I'll be thinking things and saying things. I'll be cursing a lot. So I'm going to be getting a lot of those fines. You have been fined 1 credit for violation of the verbal morality statute. It's going to be just going off its tits. Yeah. Oh, the future looks good anyway, doesn't it?
Happy days.
The future.
Let's talk about positive things today, mate. Let's talk a bit of boogie story time.
Okay, you got a story
'Cause
time?
I like
last-
stories about pinatas.
your lovely bride wanted to bring a bit of Saturday normality back to her life, which is normally brunch with the ladies.
Yep.
So you being the darling husband that you are, you're like, look, if I can't bring the lady boogie to the girls,
That's
I'll bring
right.
the girls to the lady boogie.
Yes.
But without actually being able to bring the girls, bring a still.
No.
I'm
I'm keeping my penis. Like, I'm not getting rid of it. I'm not going.
Didn't tuck it back for the purposes of the activity?
I'm not. I wasn't really committed to the bit, to be fair.
Okay.
Like from the, I was kind of going through the motions.
Yeah, see, you could have done a bit better. You could have done the tuck back, come out, pins down, and maybe just
Buffalo
frocked up
Bill.
the boobies a little bit. Yeah, exactly.
Stuffed a bra, perhaps.
Yeah, you could have stuffed the bra and then tuck back.
Yeah,
would have been and a bit. You would have committed a bit more.
Yeah.
And I think personally, the wife would have enjoyed the brunch with the girls a little bit more.
Yeah.
If you'd fully committed.
If I looked like a woman, which it wouldn't have terrified her at all. Yeah. So brunch with the girls. Started drinking mimosas pretty early in the day, Greeno.
Yeah.
I had to buy 2 lots of juice because I like a good pulpy orange juice. I don't know about you.
No, man, it's right.
No,
I don't want pulp.
No pulp.
There's a reason you got a thing called like a strainer.
Yeah, but the pulp's very flavoursome, and I don't know, it thickens up the juice. I like a thick orange juice, Greeno. The deep pulp stuff's a little too watery for me. So
I don't want my drink to feel like a soup in my mouth. I need it. I need a liquid.
Well, I have to get 2 different juices because I like the pulp stuff and she doesn't like the pulp stuff. So I think like I'm 10 points ahead here. Like I'm already going above and beyond.
Because you've gone the double juice.
That's right.
Fair call.
I'm very thoughtful like that, Greeno. So
that almost makes up for the lack of tuck back.
Exactly. So then the lady book, she prepares, a nice kind of brunch. It was like patties or something. There was some halloumi involved, Greeno.
Can't go wrong with a bit of halloumi.
Right. The brunch staple, squashed avocado was also present.
Gotta be a squashed avocado,
dish.
Bit of lime juice there, maybe a bit of guac.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, a little salsa on top of the guac, Greeno.
Oh, yeah, beautiful. Yeah.
And a homemade salsa. So it was all very nice. It was very good. And then
salmon. Any smoked salmon involved?
There was no smoked salmon, interestingly.
Nice,
like a brunch.
I'm not a huge salmon guy, and I don't think she really doesn't like fish at all, as you know, because you were going to serve us fish and chips once.
Chips, that's right. Yeah.
For the lunch of legends, which would have been sad. So no fish, no seafood, no salmon. So anyway, I finish up brunch and I finish eating. I'm like, all right, I'm going to be back in a second, and I jump up. I make myself a drink, I roll myself a cigarette, and I just kind of step outside to smoke a little post-brunch cigarette, Greeno. Just enjoy. You used to be a smoker. You know that feeling after a nice meal.
Got to have a post-meal mocha. That's the rule. You finish the meal, out for a quick smoke. It's like a dessert.
Yes, exactly. So after my cigarette, I kind of walk back in, and I'm getting this look from the lady books. And I'm like, what? And she's like, I can't believe you got up. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she says, well, the brunch isn't over. You've just abandoned me here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? What are we supposed to, like, is this part of the brunch? I'm coming right back. I'm just going for a cigarette. She's like, no, we're supposed to sit here and like talk about things. We're supposed to talk about the brunch.
Nice,
and so
Gary.
I said, look, my glass, I had to get a new drink anyway. So I was getting up anyway. And she says, well, I'll get it for you. I'm your waiter or something like that. And I said, well, you're a shitty waiter because my drink has been empty for like 10 minutes. So at some point I've got to jump up and get it myself. So there you go. Any like good points that I earned from being a good girlfriend, Greeno, were instantly wiped out with this like loophole clause that I had no idea existed. Like apparently if you get up from the table too early at the brunch, it's basically like you were never there.
Nice,
yeah. Because I guess the point of the brunch is the social aspect opposed to the eating aspect.
I guess.
My assumption. So as soon as you stopped engaging in the social aspect of it and we're just focused solely on the eating and then post-eating moco, it kind of takes away from the key point of the brunch with the girls.
Yeah, we're supposed to, because it's in between meals and stuff, I'm pretty utilitarian when it comes to meals. I just kind of want to smash it down and then go on with what I was doing. It's very rare that I've never been like that. Like at a restaurant, it's like, as soon as I'm done eating, I always think to myself, why are we just sitting here?
I'm the same. It's like meal's done. You know, it's like, let's just get up.
That's
Like, I don't want to
it,
sit
yeah.
around an empty bowl. Like,
Let's go
there's other
stand in the
places I can
street
sit.
or something instead of sitting
Yeah,
here
other
in this
places I
room.
can sit. Yeah.
Exactly. So I didn't know, but I didn't know. Now I know, Greeno. We all learned something. So there you go. There's your
I
little
like stories about pinatas.
story time. Learn something
Is
about the
there
brunch.
a future brunch with the girls planned, or it's a one and done deal?
I don't know. You'll have to ask the organizer. I might have been dropped from the team. Maybe
Yeah, out of the rotation, perhaps.
maybe she's going to prefer like a dropping out Skype call now over my company with the girlfriends. Maybe she'll have more fun going, what? I cut. Are you cutting out? Okay, for an hour and a half than sitting there with me for 25 minutes.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's what happens, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
You've got a story time.
I like stories about pinatas.
What do you got?
Last week, basically, during the lockdown, trying to keep the wife happy, got to make sure I've got an appropriate level of chocolate in the house.
Okay.
Chocolate, sweets, snacky foods, those kind of things.
Like a goodie jar, at least.
Yeah, like a goodie jar. I want to keep the kids excited because they're stuck at home too. Because we're not allowed to send fucking my son to daycare anymore. So it's daddy daycare back here at Greeno's joint. So I got both kids going. Need the treats for the kids.
Yep.
Need treats for the wife. And Greeno's got the beer, so it's all good.
Treats for the wife.
Yeah.
Nice, Gary!
But the shopping bill over the last 6 to 8 weeks got a little bit exorbitant lately. So I'm like, look, we've got to fucking cut back a little bit. We've got to start finding ways to nip back some of this budget.
Oh no! So you're going to start cheaping out on the lollies?
Yeah, we're checking out the lolly. So anyway, I'm looking at the lolly section. I've been buying these fancy like Darryl Lee blocks of chocolate. They're going for like $6-7 per block, right?
Ooh,
And that's pretty steep for a block of chocolate.
I would think, without knowing, like, because I just bought a block of chocolate today, but I'm not looking at the price because it wasn't for me. It was the same thing. Lady Boogs wanted some chocolate. But what's with the fucking girls and needing chocolate in the house?
I don't know, man. It's fine. Right? Same, if you said, hey, you can't have beers in the house, I'd be like, get fucked. I'm having them.
Yeah, but we know that beers need to be in the house. There's a reason for it, for us to get drunk.
Yeah, fair cool.
It's totally different. Yeah, so I picked up this block of chocolate. I don't even know what it cost because it's just like a block of chocolate. I'm thinking blocks of chocolate, it's probably like $5 or $6. It should be $2, no more.
$2.50, $3 max.
You reckon? $3 is even pushing it for me. That's like it's starting to get into highway robbery territory.
Exactly.
$3.
So last week I'm scaling back. I'm not getting this expensive Darryl Lee fucking chocolate this week.
Get that compound cooking chocolate.
That's it. You're gonna melt down.
Because that's like 90 cents a block.
Yeah, I can get a whole thing of like little chopped chips that are meant to go into a cookie.
It's melted down.
Just whack a handful in your mouth, you're good to go.
But then you'll have like little brown splotches all over the tiles and the carpet because you when you're eating chopped chips, you're always going to drop one.
Well,
at least one.
That's for the wife to worry about.
Well, honey, I've got good news. You can get your chocolate. Like, I want you down on all fours and just start sniffing around.
Don't waste that shit because that's wasted chocolate too.
That's it.
We can't have that.
Under the couch, everywhere needs to be checked. Move the refrigerator out. Get those really dusty ones that fall underneath there.
Yeah. So I'm like, look, what I'm going to do is because I can't skimp and get the 90-cent choc chips because I'm like, nah, can't bring that home. Not going to be happy if that happens. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to see what chocolate is on special this week, and that's the block I'm getting. Right?
Okay, all right.
So Cadbury or Dairy Milk, it's Cadbury, I think, that does Dairy Milk. Yeah. Cadbury have a whole range. They got like 5,000 different brands of chocolate.
Oh, absolutely. You've got your Top Deck, your Aero, your snack, Greeno. Snack's a good one.
Bit of everything.
Yep.
But they've got this new one called Breakaway, and I'm like, fucking, this looks like a Kit Kat. Bang, $2.50. Count me in.
Right. Okay. So it's a Kit Kat ripoff, is it?
It's a Kit Kat ripoff.
Okay.
Correct.
Look,
I like stories about pinatas.
To give you
You dick.
Because that's I think that's unacceptable. I don't think you can participate in the ripping off of a Kit Kat. Kit Kats are fine the way they are. They deserve to be paid for. I think Kit Kat is a very underrated candy bar.
Oh, no, 100%. And here's the whole point of my fucking story. Yeah. Because I decided to have a little bit of a nibble on this
rip-off Kit Kat.
Rip-off Kit Kat. Let's see if it's any good, right? And my word, have they found a way to fuck up one of the best chocolates out there? Because the Kit Kat principle is very simple. You get 4 bars. Mm-hmm. They go sideways. Yep. They're very thin. They've got a nice little wafer in the middle. Now they've decided to thicken the actual finger, so you're only getting 3 in a bar.
Ooh.
So
Okay.
already you've got pliability issues. When I try and break it, suddenly it's a bit too thick. It doesn't fragilely break.
Right.
Secondly,
and it starts because you're putting more pressure on it, it's more likely to snap in half the wrong way. And
in
shit.
half, correct, sir. Now the other aspect is the logistics of the fake Kit Kat
Yes.
is instead of being sideways where it's easily breakable in the big block, they've decided to do it vertical. So now we've got double issues. And now I'm trying to snap off two bars out of a 3-bar thing because already it's not symmetrical.
Right,
and
you're having to snap them off like lengthways, kind of
lengthways, and it's just an absolute clusterfuck. So I've got half broken, random Kit Kat rip-off bullshit flying everywhere. I've got it crumbling in my hand inside the packet. That's the pocket.
Good.
I have a bite. The chocolate's too thick. This like the beauty of the Kit Kat is the perfect amount of ratio between chocolate and wafer.
Absolutely.
Now this thing,
the texture of a Kit Kat Greeno is just about perfect, I reckon, and especially when it's just out of the fridge, not freezing cold. But
no.
You know at the servos how they put the Kit Kats in the fridge? Yeah, that's what you want.
That bad boy slightly melting in your finger as you're touching it. That's the perfect amount of chocolate. You want to be able to see wafer from the melted finger chocolate. That's the perfect ratio. They've like tripled the chocolate. Already, I'm like, well, there's too much chocolate here. I can't taste. It's not an appropriate wafer to chocolate ratio, and I'm thrown off. So in the end, like a long story short, actually very short story long. In this one, in this instance, it's a dick move to Cadbury for trying to rip off a Kit Kat and fucking it up.
There you go.
I like stories about pinatas.
Fantastic little story.
We're gonna wrap up this segment, Dave. The nation spirits. We're a bit fucking deflated at the moment. We're getting 1,000 cases a day here in New South Wales. It's a record. We're breaking records left, right, and centre. We haven't been able to leave our home for 9 weeks. The kids haven't been able to go to school for 9 weeks, and apparently, good news, Damo. Only another 8 weeks before they get to go back to school. Apparently,
Nice, Gary.
only another 8 weeks.
Hey, it's just 2 more months, you guys.
17 weeks without my kid being educated by a proper educator. You know, I'm sure that's not going to have any issues with them.
No, well, I think you're probably a better educator, Greeno. Just at home talking about the Kit Kats and stuff. And
the true love.
They'll be streetwise now.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, my son's already taken him. He's like, Daddy, you swear too much. And I'm like, how does he know I swear too much? He's 3.
He's finger wagging you at 3.
He's already established that I swear too much throughout the course of a work day.
Did you smack some respect into him?
No, I let him smack me.
Disrespect out of his mouth.
Oh, man, I'm like, fair call. Like, I have said fuck a fair bit today. My apologies, son. Give that. He's like naughty daddy. I'm like, excellent.
You're right, son. I have said fucking cunt too much, haven't I?
Yeah, way too much. But so I was sitting down last night and I was listening to the South Park album. And I'm like, we need an anthem to lift the nation's
Suck
spirit.
on my chocolate salty ball.
Side note, fucking that is still a cracking album.
Oh, yeah.
30 years. Not just because it's funny, but the music behind it as well.
Great music. Bubble Goose Greeno. The old Bubble Goose.
Bubble Goose, very good.
Yeah.
We had that one. You got you and me and her.
That's Fuck, I
and your
forgot
mother
about
and your
that.
sister.
Nice, Gary.
That's a good album. But I was like, look, Gladys 11 is fucking just bringing it. Everyone's dampened after Gladys.
Right.
However, if she finished whatever the press conference was, if she finished the press conference with an outro,
Yes.
a la Bosom Buddies.
She wants exit music, Greeno.
She wants exit music, but they got to play the whole song at like 11:15 every day after she's announced the bad news.
Right.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Before we get to a break, if you played this song at the end of Gladys's presser, would you not be lifted for the rest of the day? This would lift the nation's spirits.
Okay, let's have a look. Ladies and gentlemen, speaking on their daily update, horny Gladys Berejiklian. Well, I just think if we get to 80%, we get more jabs into arms, eventually we will let 2 of you walk around together in a park for an extra hour a day. I know this is a big announcement, and we're trusting that everybody will do the right thing in order to get us there. Thank you, everyone, and please direct your questions to the doctor here.
Do you like your novelty comedy songs organic? Handmade with painstaking care, put into every note? Well, look no further than Irrational Times. Using only the finest instruments to create an experience that your ears will thank you for later, Irrational Times attempts to elevate the whimsy to a desirable level. New songs and sketches every week, so check it out.
There's a place that we can go to watch old things. All the warm, fuzzy member berries it brings. It's a special little spot tucked away on D-Live. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. Campy old movies and old cartoons. We hope to see you over there very soon. It's our special little spot tucked away on D-Live. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. When we were kids and there wasn't any school, we'd sit and watch all the best cartoons, eating cereal until it was noon. We never thought that 30 years later it'd still be cool. Saturday night and cheesy movies, the ones that used to show us boobies. It's our special little spot tucked away on D-Live. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. Enjoy the joy of Pessy. Enjoy the joy of Pessy.
Now with less than 3% sport content. It's the starting block on TAVshow.com.
Yes, welcome back to the block, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Remember, if you want to get in touch with us, the best way to do so would be via the Little Blue Bird. Follow Greeno at the starting block, one way to drop the K at the end. Follow myself at BoogieBumper. Greeno, on this show, we've said it before, we've said it many times. Here on this show, we are officially fans of the Bogues, Greeno.
Nice,
we love the Bogues.
Gary.
We are a guy, as we pointed out, who gives no fucks because he's got multi-millions in the bank and can just say and do whatever the fuck he wants, really. Because
former NBA, well, not former, he's NBA champion with Golden State Warriors. So when Golden State were at their fucking peak, he was in the team, which is no mean feat to be part of a super team on its own. You know what I mean? So
the most wins in regular season history.
Yeah. So he's not just some Johnny come lately. Before we play this clip though, so this is Bogues talking about, stuff that we've kind of spoken about for a while on this show, but we used to, back in the day, little story time, we used to focus more on like newspaper journalists and stuff. It really is a different world now, Greeno, like to make a serious point. The people on TikTok and Instagram and stuff, they're way more influential than fucking newspaper journos now.
Oh, 100%.
Like, they're now getting left in the dust. So what he's saying here is in regards to, good messaging, ground, because we're all in this together. We've all got to go out there. We've all got to do our part, right? It's very important that we do our part. So here's Andrew Bogut, former NBA champion.
Whether you're an actor, an actress, a sports star, an influencer from getting a nice boob job and looking good, I don't care. Whoever you are, why don't we hear you speaking up? The silence is deafening. Let me give you the reason why. Last year,
because Bogues has fuck you money, so
yeah,
he can just do whatever he wants. Like
about 3 or 4 months into this pandemic, I got a.
Didn't he buy the Sydney Kings or something?
I think he bought into the Sydney Kings. He didn't own them outright, but he did. He's like, I'm just going to buy half of them.
He's going to buy half. He's a former basketball player, just bought half of the Sydney basketball team.
Yeah.
A message from somebody. I'm not going to name who it was or where it came from. I got offered money to put out a public service announcement for you everyday plebs to stay home.
You dick. Wait a sec. Could we? He got offered money for that.
Yep.
I did it for free at the start of this show.
That's right.
Nice,
Every
Gary.
week.
Well, see, we're
I
the
do a public
idiots
service
here.
announcement.
We're the suckers.
Yeah, should have held out for some cash.
We've got to be making some coin out of this. We should be making bank, Greeno.
We should be.
Because, I mean, obviously we're so influential here on the show, aren't we? I mean, a lot of powerful people listen to this show, Greeno, as you know.
But if we're talking percentages, though,
Yeah.
if we can find a way to influence 5 of our 6 listeners,
to staying inside.
yeah, that is a high percentage of audience ratio. If we can promise whoever's going to give us the cash,
We guarantee 90% of the audience
we're going
will
to get
do what we say.
90% comply. Exactly, we're going to get 90% of our audience to stay at home.
Yeah.
They're like, that's for ching ching ching.
Oh yeah,
send some money a block away.
These guys are basically magicians. How the fuck did they do that?
Yeah.
We'll do something like this. Hi, I'm Andrew Bogut, former NBA washed-up athlete, former Olympian, whatever you want to call it.
Whatever you want to call
It's your duty
it.
to stay home. Do the right thing for the community. I've got money in my bank account. I'm good. I'm fine. I can fill up my fridge with food.
Yeah.
Got cars. I can even somewhat get to different parts of the world
He could private jet if he wanted to.
if I really wanted to. But you, stay home. Do the right thing for the community. We are all in this together. I refuse to do that shit. And I was offered money for it. I don't need the money. You're right.
Is he a Westie? He sounds like a Westie boy, doesn't he?
That's a good question. I think
Where is he from? Is he from Melbourne?
He?
I don't know.
Oh no, for some reason I thought he was from Perth, but let's have a look. You keep playing it. And
I refuse to do that shit. Like he sounds a little woggy, you know. I refuse to do that shit, bro.
He's woggy for sure. There you go. Born in Melbourne. There you go.
Melbourne, right? So I reckon
he's younger than us.
Yeah, we're old cunts now. I reckon he's working class kind of background. You know what I mean?
100%. He's got ethnic heritage for sure.
Yeah.
I refuse to do that shit. And I was offered money for it. I don't need the money. You're right. I was offered money for it. I refuse to do that shit. Now that's a personal choice I made because I knew that I was
parents immigrated from Croatia in the 1970s.
I was gonna say he looks and sounds very Croatian, you know.
Yeah.
That person that I'd be giving the message to when I was a kid.
But because his name's Bogut and not like Bogatic or Bogovic or something.
Well, his name probably is Bogovic, but
they just shorten it up.
Shorten it up.
So it fits on the back of a shirt.
I was once that person
Australia.
told, you're not essential. Check the community, stay home. So put 2 and 2 together. Why do you think a lot of these people haven't put messages out? Why do you think they've put contra messages out saying, do the right thing? Oh, don't do this, don't do that. You know, you got to stay home. You're not essential. I am. I can shoot my influencer video here on the beach and I'm deemed essential. Here's my media pass. But you're not essential. They're getting paid for that shit for the most part.
Oh.
Nice, Gary.
Fucking, do we give Bogues a round of applause? Because
100%. He's the man.
I mean, absolutely. I've got one more here for you as well, just before we move on. The Lady Boogs sent me this one, Greeno. Now, this is apparently Amanda Vella. I don't know who she is. She's a big deal on Instagram. Okay.
There we go.
Now she's previously, right, there was a story. I think I did a story about her on the show not that long ago. She previously posted an old photograph of a holiday in Jarvis Bay, of her on the beach or something. And then after that, people who follow her on Instagram started reporting her to the police, saying she's not at home, she's breaching lockdown. I mean, this is what we've become as a society now.
Fuck her.
Fuck her. So the police arrive, and she's like, "Dude, that's obviously I'm home. You know, I answered the door. That's an old picture from years ago. What the fuck?" And so she had to get on Instagram and was kind of tongue in cheek saying to all of her followers, "Thanks so much for the concern, guys. You know, thank you for your concern." Now, since then, this is another thing that's happened to her. This is something she's filmed. This was before the protests last weekend. I think maybe a couple of days before. She gets another knock on the door. The same, quote unquote Instagram influencer. Have a look at this.
He's wearing body-worn video section of the conversation that's being recorded. Do you understand that? Cool. The reason why we're here today is obviously we've been tasked to come have a chat to you in relation to the protest stuff.
Yeah.
I've just got 3 questions to ask you. Okay, do you mind?
I don't mind, but
we've been tasked to come here and ask you about the protest stuff.
In their defense, so let's I want to say something in defense of the cops. The donut stores are closed. There's less people on the roads to give bullshit fines to.
Got to do something to fill out the day.
There's no one to give parking fines to. So You got to fill the hours somehow, sir.
So you
can't-
think all of these incidents that are occurring right now, these kinds of situations where people are, they're getting knocked on their door. Hey, you're an influencer. Do you know anybody who's doing the protest tomorrow?
Yeah.
This kind of thing. You think it's all based on boredom?
Yeah, a little bit of boredom. Because, I don't know about you. Like, I work in an office, right? If the work dries up and they come up with some bullshit job, they're like, well, you're here, go do some pointless filing. This is the police equivalent of pointless filing.
Yeah, it's like if you're working at a fast food place, nobody's in there, and the manager's like, mop the floor.
Yeah, just, have you checked the stock?
Mop. Yeah,
Can we do a stock take?
We can always do something.
Can you pull out the stuff at the very back and mop under there that we haven't done in 3 years? Do that. That's the current equivalent of what the cops are doing at the moment.
Right. It's
just
killing time.
Yeah.
But I don't have to answer any.
No, of course not. But I do have to ask you the questions, okay?
You do know that people have been here before asking me questions?
Yep. Unfortunately, I've been tasked with this duty now.
Unfortunately. It's like, look, sorry.
He doesn't want to be there either. Like, to be honest.
That's the whole absurdity of this, though. It's like, we know they don't want to be there. They know that we know they don't want to be there, but yet they're fucking there anyway. That's the point. Like, I know, I say it myself too. Like, I'm like, look, they don't want to be doing this, but that's what it's crazy about it. We all know.
Actually, can I also point something out here?
Yeah.
So she's filming them.
Mm-hmm.
At any point in this video, did she ask their permission to film them?
I doubt it. Maybe she might have done before because it's clipped, so I don't have the whole thing. She might. How would she?
Because legally, she's not allowed to broadcast this.
Yes.
So I'm thinking this is actually an Instagram setup. I reckon they're not cops.
Just they're cops.
I reckon she's got some blokes in costume. She's like, look,
they're actually strippers, Greeno.
They're actually strippers. Yeah, wear a mask. Yeah. She's like, I need some more clicks because I can't get down the beach anymore.
Yeah, I can't do any more bikini shots, therefore.
So what I'm going to do is to get these clicks up on my Instagram and my TikTok, I'm going to post a video of, inverted commas, cops coming over.
Hang on, wasn't this cop there last week to clean the pool, Greeno? I think it's the same guy.
Are you aware of any planned protests or events this weekend in Sydney?
I'm not answering.
Are you aware?
Answering. Are you aware of any communication circulating between people about a planned protest?
That's basically the same thing as saying, like, are you who's in your Instagram groups? Who's in your Facebook group, Greeno? Do you have any, are you conversing with any anti-lockdown individuals, that kind of thing? It's creepy.
I'm not answering.
No? Is there anything else you wish to tell us that might help us to ensure the public safety this coming weekend?
Ensure the public safety, Greeno.
Nice, Gary!
Is there anything you can tell us to ensure public safety?
At this point, she probably should have thrown in a plug for whatever, like,
for
her sites
Instagram. Yeah, find me on Insta.
Find me on Insta. Find me here. Find me there. Check out the podcast.
She should have got a selfie with him.
That's probably the way I would answer that final question. I'm like, yeah, look, check it. Starting block on Podbean, 893, Apple, Apple Podbean.
Well, let's see how she rounds it out. There's only like 20 seconds left.
No? Okay. No worries.
If you like, you can come here tomorrow.
Oh, if you look at that, Greeno, can you see the paper he's got?
Yeah.
Look
at that. Mugshot.
It's got a mugshot of her. It's like, that's got to be her and her details there. And like, here's a list of questions to ask this person about the protests.
Yeah, because they've got to identify the person to make sure it's her. Because it could be a mum. You might have an
hey, is that you or your daughter? Huh?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm here to clean the pool.
We will be here with our kids.
Okay, lovely. All right, no problem. Thank you very much for your time, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're so polite in this country.
Nice,
it's super polite. I like it. Like, they weren't dicks to her. She wasn't a dick to them. Like, no.
Oh, I'm not saying it's bad. I do find it funny because to get an Australian upset, you really have to work hard to get an Aussie upset about something. You've really got to work it hard because most of the time, what are we? We're like, what are you going to do? There's nothing you can do. I reckon it's the heat. It's too fucking hot here most of the year, and it just makes us so like intellectually, whatever. Who's going to do? Yeah, sure, we might be, sure, I might get arrested for going to work tomorrow, but what are you going to do? I mean, it's too fucking hot outside to care.
Lack of effort, really.
Lack of effort.
Which is really evidenced by the show.
Yeah, we're the epitome. We're like the true Australians here with the least
the amount of effort we put in our show is the general amount of effort the Australian public wants to put into anything. Correct. As can be fucked. All very good. Now, Damon, I'll tell you someone who does actually work hard is BE. Now,
from the UK.
Yeah, he's been doing our Milo reports for a little while now, doing our research in the background, and he sent us in something today where he's like, boys, I think we might have finally found something that may rank lower than Milo Y.
Ooh.
And it was the missing Venus de Milo arms.
Nice, Gary!
The gummy de Milo, Greeno.
Yeah. Now, it raised an interesting point to me because, firstly, we need to break up the Venus de Milo into two buckets because you've got the Venus de Milo and then you've got the missing Venus de Milo arms. Are they two separate entries?
That's a good question because if they're missing, how can we quantify them to put them in the list? Because it's kind of like if a tree falls in the woods and nobody hears it, doesn't make a sound. Well, can we really put the missing Venus de Milo arms on the list because we don't have them? So how can we rank them?
Yeah, exactly. Now, the other aspect I was thinking about when Via sent it through is I don't want to be considered a bigot towards disabled people, or in this case, disabled statues.
Disabled statues.
So the Paralympics kicked off a couple of days ago, and fuck me if I'm going to be the person that ranks an armless person below Milo Y in the Milo ranking in the middle of a Paralympics. I don't want that shitstorm, Damon. I don't think I can handle the public pressure.
The fallout, Greeno.
And the fallout that would have occurred if I was to rank the missing Venus de Milo arms lower than Milo Y. So in answer to
the
B's
Paralympics,
question,
though, specific. I think after the Paralympics, you probably could because everybody will go back to ignoring disabled people again.
Yeah.
But during the Paralympics, it's like, no, definitely not.
Just not appropriate. Yeah. So in answer to BE's question, the missing Venus de Milo arms, I don't know where they're going to rank. We're going to send it to the committee, but pretty safe to say they will still be ranking above Milo Y.
Yeah.
Nice, Gary!
Fantastic. We ironed that out because I know a lot of the blockheads were worried. They've been chewing on that one for the last week, Greeno. Can't figure out the gummy fucking Venus de Milo arms and where they rank on the ranking. It was a big talking point, Greeno, for the blockheads.
Fucking inundated with emails, TikToks with people pretending they didn't have arms.
Yeah. Just like influencers getting in touch.
In protest, just to kind of like show their support around the missing arms of the Venus de Milo.
Oh, cutting their arms off.
But by pretending they had no arms.
Yeah.
And sending me outrageous fucking tweets in the middle of the night.
Which then got them fired because people thought they were mocking Paralympians.
They were mocking, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was a slippery slope.
Yep.
Damo, the podcast awards are back. Do you remember the bullshit podcast awards from the last couple of years?
I do. These podcast awards where, we were kind of looking into it and then we realized in order to be nominated for the podcast award and eventually win the podcast award, you actually have to pay them a fee. So it's just an award, quote unquote, to whoever pays for it.
Exactly. So basically what it is, it's a whole bunch of radio stations, podcasts that just keep on winning because they're the only ones stupid enough to pay for the publicity of doing so.
Nice, Gary!
But the good news is we've still got a month to put in our nominations. So do we have a cash kind of thing on this site where people can chip in?
I guess diamonds, yeah.
Diamonds, excellent. Someone could be asked putting a diamond in. If we get enough diamonds, we will pay to enter ourselves into this stupid competition. Actually, no, fuck that, we won't because we'll spend it on beer money.
We'll never get, yeah, that's right.
Because we're not going to win it. Why would we waste our time?
I'm not entering that competition.
No, of course not.
Could you imagine though if they would we play back which bit would we play back? The casual racism bit from last week?
Probably the casual racism bit from last week.
Shouldn't we run it? Shouldn't we be aiming for casual racism? Isn't that what we want? Imagine if we won the award. We could put that on our bucket list, Greeno. Award-winning starting block.
Show reel.
Why don't we start our own awards and we can just have it between us and say like Fergo and the Freak. And then we'll just award each other the award like one year. So they win it. And as the winner, they get to decide who the next winner is and they award it to us. And then the next year we decide who the winner is. We award it to them.
Now you've got now we're talking. I know nothing about awards. You know nothing about organization. Between us, we've fixed the podcast awards. So we're going to create our own podcast awards where we charge no money.
That's right.
it's basically just, if you're willing to enter into our podcast awards, a la us and Fergo and the Free Podcast, I'm going to count him in already.
Yeah.
Safe to assume.
No. I'm saying we're the only two in it every year. So it's based on merit, and there can only be one winner, and the previous winner decides the new winner. Therefore, we're legit. It's good enough.
Okay.
Now we can start taking the money.
The fun thing is, it has about as much credibility as those podcast awards.
Exactly. That's right.
Nice, Gary.
It's got more because we're not awarding it to ourselves. We're getting awarded by the previous champion.
There's no money involved. It's all above board.
That's right.
There's no tax write-offs. It's all very good. Which brings us to Jim Enwood, who's been sending us in a whole bunch of stories for a better part of
Jim Enwood.
Big Jim. We were talking last week. We were thanking him for sending in all these stories.
Yep.
And this week, Jim Edwards sent us his message of the week.
A message of the week. Okay.
Message of the week. So he just wanted to clarify for the blockheads.
Right.
He's like, don't worry about reading the shit on the show. I'm just posting shit on here for Greeno. As a side note, he wanted to know what position I played in baseball.
Nice, Gary.
So in response to that, firstly, Jim, I know you don't care if we read it, but you've seen how lazy we are on this show.
Correct.
Now, there's not much content here to begin with. So what you're doing is you're just filling in gaps that otherwise would be dead air.
Nice, Gary.
So we're trying. We're actually we're saying it's helpful because it is helpful because I'm too lazy to come up with stuff. I just jump in. Hey, Discord. Jim sent these great stories through.
That's right.
Let's read them out. So we are going to continue to read the story for the absence of my own effort in researching for this show.
Fantastic.
Point number 2, position I played in baseball. Played a bit everywhere, Jim. Only positions I haven't played is catcher and third base because my arm is shit. No good in there. Played everywhere else, but generally outfielder. Someone in the outfield, fast, can kind of catch, know how to hit a cutoff man, and that's how we roll. So that answers Jim's message of the week.
There you go. All right. Excellent.
So now that Jim's told us,
now he's got 2 fucking segments on the show.
So now he's got 2 segments. He had his message of the week.
It'll be the Jim show next week. Jim N-word show with special guest host, the starting block.
But we're going to double down because Jim said he didn't want the stories read, so now we're going to read his messages.
Nice, Gary.
And we go on the show. Which brings us to wrap up this segment, Jim Enwood's story of the week.
Story of the week. That's right. Hang on, let's kick off our music again one more time.
Yeah. Big Jam.
Big Jam.
Where a man breaks up with his girlfriend on the Jumbotron of a minor league baseball game.
Nice,
Fantastic,
Gary.
isn't it? Where's my card? One man had a very bold plan for breaking up with his girlfriend. In a photo blowing up the internet, the man named Tim put a message on the Jumbotron that it was over with his girlfriend, Alyssa. According to Barstool Sports, the incident occurred during an Akron, Ohio, Greeno. An Akron Rubber Ducks game.
LeBron country, sir.
LeBron country. You can see a photo of the Jumbotron right there. So not only is this poor girl being dumped over, in a public fashion, she's being dumped at an Akron minor league baseball game. Fuck, what a nightmare. We're a long way from, golden horse-drawn carriages, aren't we? I believe here's a word to describe guys like Tim, and that word is king.
Nice, Gary.
Yeah, the man is an absolute king by any and all metrics. There you go. Fantastic. Anything else to add to that, Greeno?
No, that's it, mate. I think you're going to an ad break.
So you ready for a break now?
We're ready for a break now.
Should we go for a break?
Actually, before we do that, this is a blatant rip-off of the Chaser segment from 20 years ago.
Is it? What's the Chaser segment? Which one?
With Chris Taylor, how he had this segment where he went on Sunrise and pretended to break up with his girlfriend on air.
Oh, that's right. Because we've been together for so long, and I just want to say you're a fucking bitch, and I hate you.
I want you out of my life. And they're all thinking he's about to propose. He set it all up in perfect way. He's like, I want you out of my life.
The female co-host of whatever show they were on was like, oh my God, this is so sweet. And he's like, yeah, you're a bitch. I want you out of my life.
Out of my life. Fuck off and get your stuff out of my house.
It's the JJ Stoner Spring Collection, the perfect attire for any and every occasion you can think of this season. Like we were in the mosh pit full of sweat and everyone's slapping, hitting, and pulling on you. This shit won't rip! Lunch at your favorite cafe? Brunch with the girls? These stylish ensembles will give you the confidence you need to look and feel your best. Or if you're getting arrested for possession, it comes with a built-in police stick-proof body armor. Keep swinging, pigs! Call now, and your order will come with a complimentary ounce of that dankest bubblegum slurricane that the South has to offer. Don't forget the wall tapestry! If you need to cover your wall, it works!
Hello, my name is Frozen Asian, and I'd like to tell you about my show, The Sunday Night Shit Show, every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Along with good conversations and laughing at funny and weird shit we find on the internet, we also have the Hat Cam, where I showcase my myriad of great-looking hats. Here is a testimonial from a great friend of mine who has enjoyed my hats lately.
I hope your next hat is a bullet. Jesus Christ, what are you, fucking Asian Dick Tracy? What's wrong with you? Why do you have to ruin my evening? Like, I was gonna just listen to my buds do their show, and you just gotta do that. You do the show without the hat.
So you're not enjoying it?
No!
Dude, Asian
come
Dick
on,
Tracy.
secretly you enjoy it.
You look like you're going undercover in Argentina, but it's not working.
I hate you. I hate you.
Come on, you secretly love it.
No, I openly hate it.
And there you have it. So subscribe to the Sunday Night Shit Show at youtube.com/Sunday Night Shit Show. And hope to see you there on Sunday nights. Bye.
Welcome to The Starting Block. Follow on Twitter at The Starting Block. Drop the K at the end. Find the podcast on iTunes or on tavshow.com.
Yes, back on the block, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Chris, great to
you got the video there. BE used to send it through.
I do. Do you just want to go straight to that, or
straight to it?
Okay. You don't want to set it up? I mean, we kind of set it up before the
Set it
outbreak.
up in the last segment, yeah, where we're talking about the. It seems like the guy that broke up with his girlfriend, the jumbotron of the Akron.
The Akron rubber ducks, Greeno. Was it the rubber ducks? Whatever they.
Yeah, something like that. It was a rip-off of an Australian TV segment from like 20 years ago. By the sounds of it, here's the segment.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Do you believe that this? When was the Chaser? Like 2003,
2001, 2002, something like that.
God, this was nearly 20 years ago, man. Okay.
Well, Chris, great to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Anytime.
Say hello to the boys.
For our American brothers and sisters, just before we play it, he's on like the Australian version of Good Morning America, basically.
Got on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great to see you. Thanks for joining.
Sorry, say again.
The highest rated morning show, the most watched morning show.
It has, yeah, actually, it has been, hasn't it? Like every now and then, Stefanovic gets in front on Channel 9, but more often than not, it's Koshy who's winning.
Yeah.
Joining us. Say hello to the boys for us.
Especially so early. Thanks for coming in.
No, my
Getting up
pleasure.
early.
And can I just do one thing before we go? We go out live here, don't we?
Yep.
Yeah.
My partner, Jo, never misses the show at all.
That's nice.
She absolutely loves it. And I just know she'll be watching today. So can I just put a message out to her?
Go on.
We've been together for 7 years. And I just want to take this opportunity now live on TV to say, Jo, get the fuck out of my life.
Nice, Gary!
He set them up so good, didn't he? Like that's a lesson in how to do that bit, where you dangerously change tack at the last second, because he's not going over the top or anything. He waits right till the end. He's like, look, I know she's watching. We've been together 7 years. So they're expecting, like Greeno said before the break, is like a proposal or something.
Well, and I love the fact that he checked as well just beforehand. He's like, we go out live here, right? Yeah. So there was no like.
Nice, Gary!
And he's like, yeah, of course. He's like, good. Because I'm like, get the fuck out of my life.
You sure yet?
Look.
Nice, Gary!
If you're listening to the podcast, you can't see, man. Koshi's eyes are like pure death. He's just, he wants to fucking strangle him. The female co-host, I think that's Mel. Is that Mel?
Yeah, that's Mel, I think.
It's Mel. She's like awkwardly looking away from the camera and playing with her hair and shit, and Koshi's just death staring him.
Have you texted her about it?
I've tried. I've done everything I can, Koshi. So if you don't get the fucking message now, Joe, you never will.
Nice, Gary!
Oh, man, I missed the chaser. What a great call to play that. Thank you for the link, BE. Give it BE. Nice,
Gary!
Oh, man, I missed the chaser. Those were the days, huh?
They were. You can't get away with that now. Nah. I think it's, because remember how much trouble they got back in the day?
Yeah, the one they got in trouble the most for was when we had I think it was the G20 or the G20
like G8 summit or something like that.
Yeah, but it was like a security thing. So they basically did a sketch where they like hired a limo and they dressed up like security and they had fake IDs, but on the ID, like they did it really obvious because the whole bit was supposed to be getting caught at the front gate.
Yeah, but you get to the security, they're meant to turn you around, but they let them through.
So this is in like 2003, and it was before the States had found Bin Laden. So basically one of them dressed up as Osama Bin Laden in the back of the limo, and he's got the fake security detail, and they have IDs, and on their IDs it says in big letters "fake ID." Like, so they're and they still keep getting waved through. Like I've heard, is it Julian Morrow, the older guy? I think.
Yeah.
So I've heard him talk about it before. He was like, once we got through like the third or fourth security checkpoint, we started shitting ourselves because we're like, man, they're gonna fucking shoot us.
Well, they actually stopped themselves at the final bit because they were in the radius where the snipers were above like all the world leaders' hotel, and they're like, if we get in here, they will shoot. So they turn themselves around.
That's right.
And then did the reveal where the dude hopped out of the back of the limo.
He's like, tell George Bush I'm here, because George Bush was in Sydney at the time. Now the funny thing about it was this basically created like the Australian public in the aftermath of that basically wanted to tear them apart, and they're like, oh my god, this fucking prank, it's like they're ridiculous, like it's so dangerous, fuck this, you can't allow this, they should be, remember people were trying to kick them off television for it.
It was that, and it was the Make a Realistic Wish Foundation sketch.
That's right, yes. But with the Bin Laden one, they were trying to kick them off television because they were like, this is disgusting, you can't do this. And their point was, well, hang on a minute, we didn't even expect to get through the first security checkpoint. I had fake ID written on my card. So how is this like, shouldn't you be upset about the security at the fucking summit and not like these, like we're just doing a sketch show, man. But everyone wanted to throw them in jail, right? And like just leave the lax security issue like, oh, no, that's not fair. It's the comedian's fault.
Comedian's fault, yeah.
Like, nice, and you're right, the Make-A-Wish one was another one. He got in trouble for one of them, Chaz Licciardello, because at the time, a local Sydney rugby league team, BE's rugby league team, the Bulldogs.
That's right.
That's right. They have a reputation. Their fans have a reputation for, how can I say this, wanton destruction. Right? When they're traveling on trains and at games. And there was, during this time period, Bulldogs fans, it seemed, were getting into like brawls every other week. So he went down to a Bulldogs game, and he's selling like Bulldogs supporter packs, and they've got like knuckle dusters and balaclavas and shit. And like, to the Bulldogs fans' credit, they're all pissing themselves laughing. Because he's like, no, I've got all the good stuff here, mate. I've got concealed weapons, everything, like whatever you want, mate. Bulldogs supporters pack. It was APEC, BE from the UK saying. There you go.
That's right, APEC.
That's right. Oh, man, the good old days of the chaser. How about that? Sorry for that little detour, everybody.
I like stories about pinatas.
There you go.
There we go. We talked about comedians getting thrown in jail for pretending to be thugs in the footy field.
Yeah.
Good news, Damo. We're going to NRL court date because they're actually real thugs in real life.
Hey!
Footy players. The New South Wales Police and the NRL Integrity Unit are investigating an alleged road incident on the New South Wales South Coast earlier this week involving new NRL Dragons recruit George Burgess. They're a fucking bang-up club, the Dragons, at the moment.
They're the new culture club, really.
They're definitely the new culture club because this guy's he's only just signed with the club. He's already in trouble. He's already got a court date. So he's going to fit in good with the Jack de Bellins and the house parties of the Paul Vaughns, etc. over there in St. George, Illawarra.
Man, if I was playing rugby league, I'd want to play for St. George because it sounds like the club where you can just fucking do whatever you want.
Do whatever you want. Corey Norman's been fucking with coke so many times.
That's right.
It's a big old fuck up of a club. Burgess allegedly got out of his vehicle after he noticed he was being filmed by someone in a truck, grabbed their phone and threw it on the grass. Burgess will allege that the other person was the aggressor. Dragons are aware of the incident. As a result of this incident,
George, you're the one who threw his phone. I think it's really rude when people just film people like on the street. That's something
I agree.
I would never do that. Like if I wanted to film something on the street, I legit would go up, even though I don't have to. I would go up and say, "Excuse me, do you mind if I film this?" You know, because if someone's sticking a camera in my face without saying anything, I just find that really stalkery and creepy.
100%,
you know?
Yeah.
So I can understand his frustration, but at the same time, once you cross that line into grabbing that person's physical property and then destroying it, I'm sorry, George, there's no other way around it. You're the bad guy now.
Yeah.
Like he's like, don't you know who I am? You fucking cunt. Put your phone. I'll put it away for you. You fucking pelican. You know?
Obviously, they know who he is because they're fucking filming him. There's a reason. As a result of this incident, though, George will face court in Wollongong on October 19, charged with malicious damage.
Malicious damage.
So he's been back in the country for 2 days. He's retired. I'm glad we're letting these people in. We can't let Australian residents overseas back in.
That's
but
right.
George, bring him back. Thanks for coming.
Like you could be an Australian citizen who had some kind of low-end job at an embassy in Afghanistan, and you'd be stuck out there like trying to dodge around the hand grenades, hoping that you don't get fucking rounded up in the middle of the night. You can't get back into the country, but George Burgess back in the country 2 days, and he's already getting into like drunken arguments with people.
Yeah, 100%. I don't take it seriously. I don't like talking about serious stuff on this show, but I find like the stuff that's been going on with like censorship and whatnot, like the OnlyFans stuff, and but people being banned off Twitter for comments, just words, etc. That in itself, is already taking a bit too far. I was a bit confused earlier today, where I was scrolling through Twitter and I was seeing dead bodies in Afghanistan is okay to post on Twitter.
Yeah.
But tits no. Nice. Tits will get you banned. Dead bodies apparently. Yeah, that's okay. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, Twitter's meant to be a nice, relaxing kind of like. So suddenly, dead bodies in my timeline. No titties though. Dead
bodies in my timeline sounds like a great EP name, Greeno.
Yeah, exactly.
For bullet for my Valentine with dead bodies in my timeline.
The world's a fucked up place, Damo, when people are more offended by words and titties than they are dead bodies.
Nice, Gary!
That's the only serious comment I'll make on this entire show. Because
I agree. You're right. It's like you just discovered, though, that, people are only offended when they feel like it, and they prove it every day. Like the people who say that they find things offensive, you can show them something that's completely grotesque, but if it's on their side of politics, for example, they'll just be like, no, that's no problem, and they rationalize it away. So people prove every day that they choose to what they get offended about, And then once you realize that, all of the offense and all of the canceling and stuff, it just presents itself as an almighty farce.
Yeah,
right?
I personally, can we just cancel mass murder?
Nice,
can we worry about that before we worry about, bad impersonations and shit?
Yeah.
Like, let's prioritize here, shall we?
No, the bad impersonations, apparently that's what causes the mass murder, Greeno.
There we go.
Or not.
Sums it up.
Yeah.
Let's do some Statmans to wrap up the show, Dave. We've got four MLB Statmans to wrap up the show. The Padres are the first team in MLB history to be intentionally walked 8 times in the game. Now, they played I had yesterday off work, and quick Greeno story time inside a Statman.
I like stories about pinatas.
It was about midday, and I was doing a whole bunch of stuff around the house, and the wife was like, "Look, this is your day off. Can you stop doing like housework and shit? just relax, just go fucking watch something. And I'm like, all right, cool. I've knocked off most of my stuff anyway. I'm all good. So sat down, put on a game between the Dodgers and the Padres. So I was really looking forward to it. It's a good rivalry, and they're in the same division as the Giants.
Yes.
And whoever wins that game is going to impact the Giants' ability to make the playoffs. So I'm like, I need to watch this game. Going to be a cracker. And it's been a good series all year. So this game, when my daughter come up to me, she's like, Dad, can we do like yoga on YouTube? And I'm like, look, once this game
kiddo.
No. I said to her, I'm like, look, once this game's done, like, yeah, definitely, we'll put the big screen on. We can do some yoga. Dad'll even do the yoga with you.
And that's when daughter realized that a baseball game goes for fucking 10 hours.
No, the game was rapidly going because like Blake Snell and Walker Buehler were pitching,
striking everyone out.
It was like a 1-0 game in the 8th inning when she asked me. I said, look, this has only got an inning to go, over very, very quickly. This is like 3 o'clock maybe when this happened.
So how long is one inning? Is that like 10 minutes, 15 minutes?
Let's call it, well, the way this game was going, it was about, probably about 20 minutes per inning, max.
All right.
So the game was only about 20, 30 minutes away. So the next thing you know, the Dodgers tied up, and then it goes into extra innings. It's like, Dad, I thought we were going to do yoga.
So the baseball players are now making you into a liar and a bad dad, Greg.
Exactly. So this is now 4 o'clock. And I said to him, I'm like, look, don't worry. This is extra innings. They've put this stupid thing where they put a man on second base in extra innings now, so the game will wrap up quicker. I'm like, this will be over in a minute. Don't worry. It's all good. It ended up being the longest game since this rule was introduced. It was 6:30 p.m. by the time this game finished. The game went for 7 hours.
Wow.
It was unbelievable. Such a good game, to the point where I was like, by the time the game finished, it was bedtime. Well, sorry, honey. Game's over.
The game's over, but now you have to go to bed. No yoga. Can I introduce like a little bit of maybe an idea for you?
I like stories about pinatas.
Maybe in case you haven't thought of this. What about going the picture in picture? Because you don't need to hear yoga. You just need to see what moves they're doing and, follow them. So how about put the baseball on the screen with the audio from the baseball, and then do your picture in picture and put a little screen on the TV of the YouTube clip, Greeno. And then you can have both worlds. You can do yoga whilst you're watching the baseball.
Yeah, but I feel like that would interrupt my enjoyment of the game.
Yeah, and it's hard to do. It's hard to do the downward dog whilst you're
drinking
a beer.
I can't do downward dog. Exactly.
Whilst you're having a hot dog and drinking a beer and screaming at the TV. What the fuck was that? Fuck.
And that was a lot of it. I'm like, what the fuck are they doing from third there? This is ridiculous. Yeah. But the Padres end up being intentionally walked 8 times in the game because they ran out of position players back in the 9th inning, and it went 15, 16.
Yep.
So they had to keep on putting like pitchers in to bat. So what they kept on doing in extra innings, they just kept on walking the hitters and said, we'll just throw to the pitcher to get out of this inning. They got walked 8 times in the game. It was unbelievable. Statman number 1.
There you go.
Statman number 2. You got the picture up there. Big congratulations to Miguel Cabrera, who got his 500th home run.
Nice, Gary. Nice,
Gary.
One of the all-time greats of the game.
How old's Miguel Cabrera now? Been around.
38, 37, 38, thereabouts.
So he's probably still got another 3 or 4 years in him, doesn't he?
Oh, he's struggling this year.
Is he?
I think. Yeah. Well, he's he's got 2 more years left on his contract.
Yeah.
Because he got a big multi-year contract many years ago.
They reckon they just carried him to 500 and now it'll be time to cut him, or?
Well, he's also very close to 3,000 hits.
Right.
So they're not going to cut him until he gets to his 3,000 hits. So he might get it. He'll probably get it next year. So he'll stick around to there, and then they'll probably move him on and do the farewell tour there.
Because the Blue Jays aren't any good, are they? Is he at the Tigers or the Blue Jays? Oh, okay.
Detroit Tigers. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Are the Tigers any good, or?
No, they're no good. So they're a rebuild. So he's the only kind of veteran left because they're like, well, Miggy's the man. He's the face of the franchise, and he's about to hit 500 homers and 3,000 hits.
Has he won a World Series, or?
He has won a World Series back in his first season with the Florida Marlins.
Wow, the Marlins. Okay.
Yeah. So he's one of the greatest players ever. Got his World Series out of the way in his first season.
Yeah. And never won it again.
And he's never won it again. He's got very close to Detroit a couple of times, but no such luck.
I feel sorry for players like that because they taste it once, and then I'd almost rather not taste it, if that makes sense. If you taste it once, like in the first year, Yeah, but in the first year, you think to yourself, how good's this? I'm going to be winning World Series forever. And then you play another 20 years or whatever trying to get back there and never do. I reckon
Fuck that. I want to play with house money. If I got the World Series under my belt, that's something I never have to chase again. Those players who are like, who can get close and never taste it over 20 years. Yeah. After that, you're like, well, I've already got a ring. So, now I can just chase the Hall of Fame and I can chase all these records, etc. because I've always no one can take that ring away from me.
Yeah,
so,
I guess it's, I see the wisdom in that as well, but I just think it's kind of like that, it's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. I don't know if that works. I wonder if it's better to just not know what it feels like than to feel it once.
Love.
Yeah, I don't know. Winning it in your first year and then never winning it again, I think is cruel. It's just cruel because you become one of the best players and you never get there. But in the first year, you're a rookie. Nobody gives a fuck.
You got there.
Yeah, you didn't though. You were a rookie. You just kind of were carried by the team. You were just lucky.
No,
you're lucky in the first year.
He was the star in his first year. He
really?
definitely helped him win it. Yeah, he's very good. He's a Hall of Famer.
All right.
Nice, Gary.
Look at someone who's very good. I saw the Little League World Series on ESPN at the moment. I don't know if you've seen any of it.
I've seen it before, and I just laugh and laugh because it's just so funny to me watching. Like the Americans are so sports mad, they put like kids sport on TV.
Yeah, and it's a big event, and they do it for like 2 weeks, and people are following it. They become superstars. It's fun for the kids, but at the same time, I'm like, this is stupid, right? Like, really, it's 11-year-olds playing baseball.
Yeah, and then, if you were a kid, it would be amazing to have like the full ESPN coverage, like dun 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 dun, and like the big fadeaways of like here at the bottom of the fourth inning, Little League World Series, Johnson stepping up to the plate. Like to have that kind of full professional development around your kids' game would be ridiculously cool.
It was so much fun. You can always go back to the video and go, here's me getting an intro. Like,
exactly.
So good. Yeah. But this kid, I flicked it on the other day and I'm like, this is fucking stupid. And I watched like 5 minutes and I was hooked because this kid that was pitching for South Dakota was unbelievable. He's 11 years old and he's just unhittable. He's throwing 72 miles an hour.
At 11 years old.
At 11 years old.
You know what else is unbelievable, Greeno? That people play baseball in South Dakota.
Nice, Gary.
I had no idea. I thought they just branded cattle and shit in South Dakota.
This kid, Gavin Weir, threw his 4th no-hitter of the summer in that game.
Yeah, right.
He's allowed 1 hit in his last 8 games.
BE's asking for the 11-year-old. Like, do we have footage of the 11-year-old?
Yeah, I sent it to BE in the DMs yesterday. I don't have it.
Send it to me, BE, and we'll play it because BE's asking for it in the chat.
Yeah,
BE, I want to see it now.
It's in our chat yesterday, BE. I said, this is the kid I was talking about. I'll come back to I'll do some more stat mans and hopefully BE will be able to send it back. I'm a stat man. But that kid, he's thrown, the 4th no-hitter already this summer. He's thrown. Here's his stats. He's faced 132 batters. He struck out 114 of them.
Yeah, right.
That's in the entire tournament.
11 years old.
11 years old. He's unbelievable. Now, the thing is, these kids, obviously, they've got innings limits. So they've just made the Little League World Series. This kid is not allowed to pitch.
Oh, you're joking. That's ridiculous.
Because he hit his innings limit in this qualifying final. So he's done. Yeah.
Oh, that's insane. That's so brutal as if an 11-year-old, as if kids need innings limits. That's so ridiculous.
Well, no, the problem is this kid would have thrown like 50 innings if they'd been allowed to let him throw.
Yes, and he probably can. He probably can because kids are indestructible, Greeno.
Maybe
he'd be fine. He's not going to hurt himself or anything. And if the kid wants to do it, and if the parents are overbearing enough to force him to do it, then he should be allowed to do it, Greeno. No, I don't care if your arm's sore. You get out there, Jimmy. Your whole family's depending on this. They're watching you on TV. Don't let us down, or you'll or I'm giving your sister your bedroom if you let us down out there tonight. Can I have my puppy back, Dad? Only if you win.
You're done.
Okay, all right, we got the kid here. Let's have a look.
All right, excellent.
All right, this looks good. There you go.
He's not throwing straight ones up there. Those have late life.
Oh, fuck. He's got some pace on him, doesn't
Well,
he?
well, watch his pace. Chris Sale would break himself in half because this action's very violent, and he was a real skinny kid. So it looks good, but it's also a very injury-prone action.
Okay, like a high energy, like tight snap kind of action. Is that
Yeah,
what you're saying?
exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Not throwing straight ones up there. Those have late life. California hitters.
The way it slaps into the glove too.
Yeah. Like, as you're an 11-year-old, I'm a 38-year-old, and I couldn't hit
You
this
couldn't
shit.
hit him, yeah. God, he's just tearing him apart, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, no one can hit the guy. He got through 4 innings the other day, and no one could even foul him off.
Jesus. The batters are getting really pissed too now. Like, they don't even get a chance. Oh, and got him.
There's the no-hitter.
He is... Oh, come on, mate.
Nice, Gary.
How about the commentators?
When they can't even lay the bat on the
dominance.
ball, that is human dominance. So well done to Gavin Weir. Shame he's not going to be able to pitch in the final.
Shame he misses, Shame he misses the biggest game of the season because some twat somewhere said, no, sorry, got to keep you safe.
That's it.
Can't let you pitch in the biggest game of your life.
I'll do those ones.
Even though he's fine, he probably feels 100%. Let me out
He's
there,
not going to pitch for another year, but no, it's fine. Innings limits hit. Now, final stat man before we go, sir. I'm a stat man. The Baltimore Orioles this week became my team because they were on a historic losing streak. They'd lost 19 straight games. And that is the longest in a row since 1906.
Nice, Gary.
Nice, Gary.
Now, that was the Boston Americans with 20 straight and the Boston Bean Eaters with 19 straight. Now, the Orioles end up getting to 19, so they tied the Bean Eaters.
The Bean Eaters is the greatest sports name I've ever heard.
It's pretty good.
The
Boston Bean Eaters.
The Boston Bean Eaters.
Yeah.
That would be racist now, wouldn't it?
No.
Imagine if you were coming from Mexico or Cuba. It's like, who are you going to play for, Miguel? I'm playing for the Bean Eaters. Oh my God, they're beaners.
Connotations. Very good.
Yeah. Can we historically cancel the Bean Eaters, Greeno?
Oh, definitely.
All right,
yeah,
we're cancelling them this week. Yep.
Yeah. Now, yesterday, so they were on a 19-game losing streak. They had a chance to tie the Boston Americans with 20 straight losses, and they were facing the Angels and Shohei Ohtani pitching. So we're like, well, fucking, let's just rack up.
It's going to happen, yeah. Pay out the punters now. There's no point.
Exactly. We're done. Now, the thing is, though, the Angels bullpen is terrible.
Okay.
So
No
I'm
depth.
like, look, if they can see out Ohtani and be reasonably close, anything could happen.
What's Shohei's? This is something I've never asked you. What's Shohei's like stamina like? What does he normally give you? Like 5-6 innings or what?
It's about 5 or 6, yeah, generally about that.
But
Depending
then
on
he stays on batting, doesn't he, for the rest of the game?
Some games he does, some games he doesn't. Depends on how he's going.
Right.
So they try and manage his workload. So Shohei got through 5 or 6. I think he got through 6, and they were up 6-2. The Angels. So you're like 4-run lead should be enough.
He's done everything he can to put them in.
He's done everything he can do.
Yeah,
100%. Now Baltimore, who's on a 19-game losing streak, came back and scored like 7 runs the inning after Shohei left and won the game, broke the streak, and then won today 13-1 against the Angels as well.
Nice, Gary.
those are the kinds of results where a punter, like on a multi-legger, Greeno, those are the kinds of ones that always happen when it's like the last game that you need. Those are the ones that tear your fucking heart out, Greeno.
Oh yeah, the one you're like, surely you're not going to lose when Shohei.
Surely, like it's always the one that you think is the lock, which is the one that ends up losing, and all of your obscure legs in your punt, they're the ones that come up. So
exactly. But I've never cheered as much in my life as I did to Baltimore yesterday when they won. I was just like, why am I so excited about them finally winning a game?
Breaking the streak, getting out of there.
Happy for the Baltimore fans. Now, Damo, quick reflection before we wrap up. No coincidence.
Yeah.
You got your 5G vaccination yesterday.
Yes.
Not one dropout tonight.
Not one dropout. That's very
Nice,
true.
Gary.
So I think your scientific theory that I have now become like a 5G superconductor in my area,
Yeah.
I think that's obviously true now.
100%.
Yeah.
Because and each dose
even though I'm using an Ethernet connection,
doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. It's just juicing it up in the atmosphere anyway.
Exactly. We've had no dropout. So when my wife got the vax,
yes,
she got her first one. We had no dropouts for 2 weeks. She got her second vax. We had a dropout.
Ooh.
So the second vax counted the first 5G. Now you've got your first vax,
Yes.
so now you're putting that into the block system.
Yeah.
So we're back on track with the 5G. I reckon it's safer for the show's durability and lack of dropouts if you don't get your second one.
That's good.
Nice, Gary.
So, Mr. Bumper, you're due to have your second vaccination shot. Yep, nope, sorry, can't do it. Why not? Because I'm a professional fucking podcaster. That's why. We need to make sure we don't have any dropouts. Imagine the way they'll look at. They'll probably shoot a dart into my neck at that point and drag me into a tent around back. It's like, no, he's going to be one of the problematic ones. These are the ones. He's one of the ones we need to strap down to the gurney, Greeno, and administer it that way via a drip.
Plugs, Damo.
Plugs. Follow Greeno at the starting block. One more drop the K at the end. Follow myself at BoogieBumper. See Victor Von Shroom in the chat. Follow Victor Von Shroom, ladies and gentlemen. The Victor Show. BE the Earth Reporter. We'll be back with another episode of The Block next week. I'll be back with the Daily Boogie next week as well, earlier in the week. And that's about it. So let's get the fuck out of here, huh?
All right, see you guys next week.
Bye-bye.
We'll always be bosom buddies, friends, sisters, and pals. We'll always be bosom buddies. If life should reject you, there's me to protect you.
If I say that your tongue is vicious,
if I call you uncouth,
it's simply that.
Who else but a bosom buddy will sit down and tell you the truth?